So here is what we are having today. It's Crockpot spaghetti sauce with garlic bread, and I've got the recipe for the sauce and the garlic bread spread, okay? So we'll be right back. I'll show you what we got to put in it. Okay, so the ingredients you're going to need for this are a pound of spaghetti, 3 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes, a pound of hamburger, a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, 1 green pepper, 1 onion, some minced garlic, red pepper, crushed red pepper seeds, Old Bay seasoning, Louisiana style hot sauce, some Italian seasoning, some basil, some parsley flakes, some shaker Parmesan style cheese, and some bread and some margarine or butter. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and measure all this out and get it started, and I'll bring you back. Alright, first things first, we're going to go ahead and make our garlic bread spread. So in this bowl we have 2 teaspoons of minced garlic and a teaspoon of parsley. We're going to add our 1/2 cup of shaker style Parmesan cheese and our 1 stick of butter that we kind of let come to room temperature so it's spreadable. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take a spoon and we're just going to mash all this around until it all gets well combined, and then we're going to set that aside. But okay, so I just wanted to show you kind of what I'm doing. I'm just mashing it all up together, and I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I'm done mashing all this together, okay? So I'll be right back. Alright, and this is what it looks like when it is all mixed up, okay? You can see the parsley and the cheese and the garlic and the butter is all mashed together, and I'm going to set that aside for now, and we're going to go ahead and make our Crockpot spaghetti sauce. Okay, so let me get this set aside and I'll bring you back. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get started on making our meat for this sauce, okay? So we're going to start this by putting it on high. Okay, well, since it's frozen, we better start it out on medium. Alright, that way it can slowly thaw out, and as it's thawing out, I'll go ahead and break it up, okay? So let me get this thawed out and broken up, and then I'll tell you the next step, okay? Hold on. Alright, I just wanted to share with you a neat tip. If you've got frozen hamburger, it's not thawed out, just go ahead and put it on high with some water in the pan and let it thaw out that way, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do that, alright? Okay, we've got the hamburger meat almost done, so we're going to go ahead and add our onions and peppers and garlic to the pan, okay, so that it can cook. And so this was the garlic, onions, peppers that I had chopped up. Okay. A few more in here that didn't want to come out of the bowl. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this lid with a lid and let this cook through, okay? Okay, so while we're waiting on the hamburger to finish cooking, we're going to go ahead and get our sauce ingredients into the Crockpot, okay? So we're going to add our 3 cans of crushed tomatoes. There's 1 can. There's 2 cans. Here's the last can. we got our can of tomato paste. Okay. Get that lid off there. There's our tomato paste. Okay. And then we have our 2 tablespoons of Louisiana hot sauce. And then our seasonings. Okay. So, here's our seasoning mix. So, in here we have 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 2 teaspoons of Old Bay seasoning, 1/8 of a teaspoon of red pepper seeds, and 2 teaspoons of basil. Okay, we're going to add that, and then we're going to go ahead and mix it up. Okay, there we go. Let's see what I'm doing here. Gonna mix that up really good because that tomato paste is kind of thick. Okay. Can you see it pretty good? Alright. Now I'm going to put the lid back on this and wait for that hamburger meat to finish cooking. And then we'll be adding that. Okay. Now I did want to tell you that if you didn't want to use all hamburger meat, you could use half hamburger meat and half sausage, Italian sausage. It can be either hot or mild. And if you didn't want to use hamburger meat, you could always use ground turkey if you wanted to try something a little healthier. I'm just using hamburger tonight. And I guess we'll let this sit for a minute while the hamburger, and onions and peppers and garlic mixture continues to cook, okay? So we'll be right back. Okay, so now the hamburger and onions and peppers are ready to go into the crock pot. So I've added that. Okay, now we're going to stir it around like that. Okay, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Oh, let me not get y'all steamed up again tonight. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to let this cook overnight. Or you can cook it all day while you're at work. Alright. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to let that go. And then we're going to turn this on. Let's see. To low. Okay. And that's what it looks like. And then we're going to cover it with the lid. And like I said, we're going to cook that for at least 8 hours. You can always add a little bit of sugar if it's a little too tart for you. And you just want to add that kind of sparingly. Wait until you decide that that's good enough for you, okay? You don't want to add too much sugar because then it's just too sweet and not too good. All you really want to do is to take that tanginess out of it if it has any. That's not to your liking, okay? So I'm going to let this cook, and then when this is all done, I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, and then we'll go ahead and make our garlic bread. Okay, so for now, this is gonna be what it is. It's just gonna look like this. Alright, now we are halfway through cooking our spaghetti sauce, and I have tasted it to see if it's seasoned the way I like it, and it does need some tweaking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 4.5 teaspoons of regular granulated sugar, 3 teaspoons of salt, and I'm going to increase the amount of Italian seasoning that I put in here from 2 teaspoons all the way up to 3 tablespoons, okay? And then we're going to let it cook the rest of the way. Okay, so here we go. And that should do it. Now, if it doesn't taste beefy enough to you or whatever, you're going to want to add some beef bouillon. Granulated you can use, or you can use that bouillon cube. But I think mine's good enough. So I just wanted to show you, the addition of the extra seasonings. So now we're going to let it cook the other half of the way, and then we'll try it again for seasoning to make sure that it's good. And you're going to have to also taste yours as you go, because, your taste might be a little different, okay? So I'm going to let you go for now, and we're going to let this finish cooking. I also wanted to let you know that if you are using hot Italian sausage, you're not going to need to add the red pepper flakes or the hot sauce, okay? But since I didn't use sausage, that's why I added that stuff, okay? So keep that in mind when you go ahead and make this sauce, okay? Alright, so in this pan I've got some water that we're going to use to boil our spaghetti. Okay, so we're going to turn that on to high to get that to boil. And I'm going to season this water with some salt. Okay, like that. And then we're going to cover it with a lid and let it come to a boil. And then we'll be back and I'll show you about how to make that spaghetti. Google AI says that you need about 4 quarts of water to boil 1 pound of spaghetti. So I want to throw that in there. I'm only doing a small batch for demonstration purposes because we're not ready to eat right now. But anyway, so that's why I've got such a small amount of water. But anyway, I wanted to show you how I'm doing this, but on a smaller scale, okay? Because you might not need that whole pound of spaghetti either. So, okay, I just want to throw that information in there. And it says that the reason why you need so much water is so that, the spaghetti will release some of its starches, so it won't be so starchy. But I don't think I've ever used 16 cups of water to boil spaghetti. But that's my personal thing, so I just throw that in there, okay? Okay, now I've spread some of this garlic butter that we made last night on these 4 pieces of bread, and we're going to go ahead and put them in the toaster oven to toast them, and I will show you what they look like in just a few minutes. It doesn't take long, and this is very good. Alright, now my water is ready to add my spaghetti, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dump my spaghetti in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to set it down into that water. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to let it boil. Okay. Alright, I wanted to show you what that garlic bread looked like after I got it toasted. Doesn't that look amazing? Wait till you try it. It's even better than it looks. Our spaghetti is just about done. And you can see that it's just about done. See how it's kind of wiggly? It's not done to my liking, but I just wanted to show you kind of where you're going with this, okay? Let me cover this and let it cook a few more minutes, and then we'll drain out the water and get it plated. Supper will be done. gonna leave it open just a little bit to allow some of the steam to come out, because otherwise your water will boil over. So there you go. Okay, and this is how I like my spaghetti. Okay, so let's see if I can get a piece out. Just a second. See when it kind of does that? It's not soggy, but it's done. And winds around your fork just right. See there? Now I'm going to go ahead and drain out this water and get this plated for you. Okay? Just wanted to show you how it looks when it's done. Alright, and here is what it looks like when it's all plated in a pretty dish. Enjoy.